lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love
Okey, boleh terima kasih kepada semua yang sudi hadir pada majlis kita Interfaith Sharing Session sempena World Interfaith Harmony Week, the first week of every year yang dibuat oleh UN. Di sini kita ada 8 pelbagai agama dan juga fahaman termasuk daripada sekular humanis ya. Jadi untuk mulakan majlis kita pada kali ini, saya akan mutekan semua orang.
Okay.
Now you can see?
Yes.
Okay, can we all bangun sekejap? Just orang tak akan nampak pun, dia akan nampak. Kita nyanyi lagu negara tu for 1 minute and we start our majlis. 1, 2, 3. Okay, terima kasih. You may be seated now. Boleh duduk. Jangan lari. Okay. Terima kasih kepada semua yang hadir pada ini, terutama para panelis dan juga para partisipan ya. Majlis kita akan buat secara santai sahaja. Bahasa kita boleh buat rojak. This is a sharing session. So mana yang comfortable in English, you can speak in English. Mana yang biasa dalam bahasa Malaysia, kita boleh bercakap bahasa Malaysia. I think we all Malaysian, we can understand each other, right? Patrick, Pat, okay, you please, okay. So I don't want to impose on people, some people, so it's a free country, yeah. Without further ado, I pass the session to Pat as the organizing chair for this session to give a welcoming speech and a little bit of introduction to our event. Over to you, Pat.
I represent Harmony Works Dialogue Series. And we have been running sessions similar to this for interfaith as well as social issues since last year, 13th of September, we started last year. So this time is our first time working with Sharul from Global Unity Network and also first time live on FB. And we are very pleased to have this first time to together celebrate World Interfaith Harmony Week, which is a declaration by the UN every first week in February. And to have with us 7 groups of Malaysians represented in this event. We have invited you to come to share your views of what it means to love God or to love good and to love doing good for your neighbor and how that is influenced by your faith. So we hope to hear from each one of you, and we welcome you, and let us celebrate this day of brotherhood together. So I'm passing you back to Sharul. Thank you, Sharul.
Thank you, Pat, for that kind introduction. For those who are watching, especially out there, it's not in the group, the World Interfaith Harmony Week is basically, it was proposed by King Abdullah II from Jordan on the 23rd of September 2010 and in the United Nations Assembly, and basically was agreed unanimously, and they adopted that on the 23rd of October 2010 to be this interface, a World Interface Harmony Week. So the 1st of February. So today, in conjunction with that week, we have 8 people from different belief. Basically, the fundamentals of the World Interface All Interfaith Harmony Week, they're based on 3 fundamental principles. That is love for God, love for good, or love of good, and love your neighbors. So in a sense, the UN is trying to, encourage all of us to love our neighbors, to help other people regardless of their faith and races of their colors. So today we are blessed. We have reps from a Christian side, Catholic, ANGELINE, Islam from Dr. Syed HUSSAIN. We got Buddhist from Dr. BENG, Hindu from ARUN DORASAMY. We got SIKHS from SUKHDEV SINGH. We got BAHA'I from SHAFIGH / BHASKARAN, and secular humanists. We also got WILLIE, COLIN, and lastly we got Christian Methodist, which will be represented by Mr. COLIN, HARVEEN, POBALAN. Okay, each of the panelists will have, we have 3 segments. The first segment will be from the 8 panelists, which I mentioned just now. They will be given 3 minutes. So please stick to the time. Pat will be helping me. If you have 2 minutes, you'll be shown basically this card. You are ready to conclude, and another, when you reach your time allocation of say 3 minutes, you'll be given the red card. I'll be, Pat will be helping me just in case if I don't, keep tab, because I need to watch the FB live as well. If you have anything to ask, please ask now in the FB. There's no problem. I'll try to blend as we progress. Okay. Anything else? Okay, the second part, we'll have another, it's supposed to be 12 people from all different faiths, also to share their experience, sharing their thoughts on how best they understand their religion or their faith, their belief, and they do all this good thing and love their neighbors, So basically, you guys are not really representing your religious, so it cannot be wrong. Just sharing your own thoughts and experience on how best you understand it. Right, thank you very much. Can we have our first speaker? None other than Madam ANGELINE LESSLAR from the Catholic Church. Over to you, ANGELINE. Can you share how your religion teach you, to love your neighbors and probably to doing good? Over to you, ANGELINE. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharul, and good evening, everyone here. My name is ANGELINE, and I'm giving my views based from a Catholic perspective. Now, the Catholic Church draws its truths and beliefs from the Holy Bible based on the teachings of Jesus Christ 2000 years ago. During that time, a question was asked of Jesus: who is my neighbor? And Jesus articulated this in a parable that can be found in Luke 10:30-37. And in this parable, which is called the Good Samaritan, Jesus told them this parable, and then at the end of the day, he asked, who do you think my neighbor is? In essence, this parable is about a Jew who was traveling from city to city, and he was assaulted and robbed and left to die on the highway. At that time, there were no buses or cars, so they had to walk from city to city. Well, many people passed the same route, but nobody bothered to help him until a Samaritan came along. Now, this Samaritan is someone who is an enemy of the Jews. But again, it was a Samaritan, an enemy of the Jews, that came to his aid. Also, during Jesus' ministry on earth, he was in dialogue and doing miracles with a lot of non-Jews as well. So what does it tell me as a Catholic? It says that I have to be inclusive. I cannot just be myself and my family, but I have to include and to dialogue and to share my life with other people as well. As you know, in Malaysia, we don't live like, far away from each other. We are just next to each other. And we are such a multi-racial and multi-religious community. So in this context, we cannot be living in silos. We cannot be living in bubbles. But we have to be concerned about other people as well, to coexist in peace and harmony, and to be with each other, to help each other out 24/7. Only then, as a Catholic, can I live out my religious beliefs to its full. My love for God is a driving force. It is what propels me to love my neighbor as myself and to be able to see God in other people as well. Now, building bridges and relationships is not easy. It's not easy, but we must try. We can do this if we have respect and we are sensitive. Pope Francis said this, he said, dialogue among people of different faiths will produce the fruits of peace and justice. And he says, we are all children of God. Now, in dialogue, there are 4 areas: dialogue of life, dialogue of action, dialogue of ecumenical theological exchange, and interreligious experience. I will not go into this as my time is already up, but I think my other fellow Christians will elaborate on this later on. But
Thank you very much.
Try and we must go ahead and do our part as Catholics. Thank you.
That was lovely, Angeline. So Angeline from Church of St. Thomas in Subang Jaya. She heads the PMAA. That's basically interfaith among all religions and intrafaith, I think. That's wonderful. I cannot really elaborate much because you got so many speakers this time around. Right, so that is from Angeline from Catholic Church. Now we pass over to the Islam side. We have here Dr. Syed Hussain from Principal of Greenview Islamic International School, Bangi. He is the Senior Trainer, Lecturer and Public Speaker on Islamic Studies and on Interreligious Interfaith and World Religious Studies. So, Dr. Syed, I pass to you to give Islamic perspective on this interview.
Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Allah bless you, Shahrul, and the organizers. May peace, blessing upon on the final messenger. And dear brothers and sisters in humanity, my time is not 30 minutes, but 3 minutes. Let me make it very precise and short. All human beings are descended from the first man, Eve, the first woman, Eve, the first man, Adam. Therefore, the Islamic concept is that the entire humanity is a family. So that is the first base. In Islamic concept, the all humans are one humanity, one nation or one family that you can say in Islamic concept. So this is why there is no way to generate the concept of superiority over one another according to Islamic concept, except the one who believe in God, obey his commandment and prohibitions, and live with people by accepting them as well as doing right things for others. Dear brothers and sisters in humanity, in this base, everything is interconnected and society depends on the behavior and interact among people. It is urged in Islam, in the Quran and Sunnah, neighbors to create social ties where one can rely on another to ensure that existence, dignity, and assert are secure among neighbors. The Al-Quran, the complete code of life in Islam, every matter has been discussed in it, and special focus has been given the right of neighbor. So you can see only the one message that I'm going to give you from the Quran, right? This is neighbors play an important role in the makeup of an ideal society. It is also affect the life of people and the welfare of community. That's why it is very important to look into the following verse from the Quran, Al-Quran, which is chapter number 4, verse number 36, which is Surah An-Nisa, the chapter woman. That's also have to note. We will have another seminar on that. Let me read for you this ayah. There are plenty of ayah, but which I wanted to focus on here. وَعْبُدُ رَبَّكَ وَلَا تُشْرِكْ بِهِ شَيْئًا. The main concept is don't give partner your God, worship him and obey him. And with that, what is mentioned? وَالْجَارِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْجَارِ ذِي الْجُنُوبِ وَالصَّاحِبِ بِالْجَنْبِ. It means the neighbor who are near, the neighbor who are strange, the companion by your side. Do the best that you can do. Be close to them. And in Islam, before I complete, the doing good to neighbor, be close to other people, do good things to them, is not only an moral act, good behavior, but also it is a belief. It's part of belief system, and it is one of the act of worship. And it is a good, excellent, wonderful moral attitude. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the messenger of Allah, has given one thing. I'm going to finish up. The Prophet says, the one cannot be believer unless he is good to his neighbor. With that, thank you very much, and may God bless all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Syed. I know he's finding it hard because he can speak for 3 hours for no problem when it comes to this topic. But we just give him 3 minutes to compress everything, which is he's finding
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Dr. Syed, for that wonderful sharing. We all one race. There's no one superior than the other. Now, we are waiting for our, none other than our Buddhist friend, Dr. HEAN Beng. Dr. HEAN Beng is a retired science education lecturer from the Institute of Teacher Education, Ipoh campus. My wife also teaching teachers. He's in UIA. He's currently the chairman of the Buddhist Missionary Society Malaysia Perak branch in 2019. With that, Dr. Ui, can you please share your Buddhist perspective on this thing? Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Angel Sharo. Good evening, everyone. A very famous quotation from the Buddha's teaching is that hate is not overcome by hate. It's only through love can hate be conquered. And from this point of view, in Buddhism, there are two very important aspects, or two very important teaching or practice, which is metta, which means loving kindness, and karuna, which means compassion. Now, we have to understand from the Buddhist perspective, we believe in many lives. We believe that we are all reborn and reborn and reborn. And where we are reborn and how we are reborn depends on our action, or what we know as karma. So in the practice of metta, we radiate loving kindness initially to ourselves, to our loved ones, to people that we do not know, and finally to people that we have very negative feelings about. Now, of course, when we start radiating this kind of loving kindness, especially to people that we do not know, or to people that we have negative feelings, it seems very artificial. But the main idea in Buddhism is that if you practice long enough, your desire for the happiness of other people, for everyone, will become stronger and stronger. So it is a progress of loving oneself and loving others, simply because it is the correct thing to do. In Buddhism, it is not a commandment. It is not something that you do to please the Buddha, but it is a teaching that the Buddha has given to us and say, if you do this correctly, if you learn how to love instead of learning how to hate, you not only bring happiness to yourself, but you also bring happiness to others. And this is what life is all about. Because regardless of what we do, the main thing is all of us want to be happy. So we need to support each other more through love rather than to base on ego or differences, because the Buddhists believe that you and I have been reborn many times, and we could be very closely related in the past. You could be my brother, you could have been my wife, you could have been my sister, and because we have been reborn so many times over and over again, therefore it's only correct we treat each other with respect and with love. And if we practice metta daily and frequently and honestly, this feeling of love will grow stronger and stronger. So my 3 minutes is up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ooi. I was sticking very strict to the time. He got his own stopwatch. Yeah, basically metta is loving kindness, just like as a mother would protect her only child with her life. So even so, one cultivate a boundless love towards other beings. That's basically from Buddha. Thank you, Dr. Ooi, from that Buddhist perspective.
Welcome.
Now we have another gentleman. He's advisor to Hindu Agaman Aini Malaysia, director of Hindu Service Center and governor of KitaBantuKita.org crowdfunding, a portal helping minorities, especially orang asal Sabah, Sarawak, dan orang asli dan juga Indians. Right, please welcome our handsome Hindu friend, Mr. ARUN DORASAMY. Over to you, sir. Please unmute yourself, Arun. You forgot to unmute yourself.
I was too excited. வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு இன்பமே சூழ்க நாம் எல்லோரும் வாழ்க. Love all, serve all. Sanatana Dharma, or it is called the universal truth, Hinduism, is a philosophical science and a way of life for a peaceful, joyful, prosperous, and harmonious coexistence with all of his creation, including animal, plants, protecting environment and universe. In simple, that is Hinduism. And there is 4 ways in Hinduism for you to attain the Almighty. And out of the 4 ways, the first way is SAYYID Marga, meaning the thoughts of service, unconditional service. Second, Bhakti Margam, meaning you reach God by your rituals and Vedas and pujas and stuff like that. And third, Jnana Margam, by the means of knowledge, the power of knowledge. And fourth is Yoga Margam. The Hinduism have actually put service to humankind first. And as the Saint Tirumular have said it correctly, service to humankind is a worship to God. So in Hinduism, you can choose any of the path for you to attain God, but the most easiest and the most honorable path is service to the entire humanity, whether that's your neighbors next door or your next village or next state or anywhere, wherever the humanity needs help. And the very important part of this seva, it has to be unconditional. It is, you're not doing a seva just because you will be rewarded with heaven. You will not be doing a seva just because you will be given a boon. It has to be part of your sadhana, part of your being that you want to serve. And the serve must be full of compassion and love. And that's exactly. So in Hinduism, service comes first before everything else. And I'm so elated with that. And that's exactly what Kita Bantu Kita all about. Nandri.
Thank you very much, handsome man. So that's the thing. If everyone is really preaching to what really the religious scriptures tell us, like everyone is the same, from same mankind, like, you know, loving people, like from mother to child kind of service, like even from Hindu, like service to mankind as a way of life. You know, that's, you can't even expect anything. It's a boon. So that's really beautiful. I think we can really have heaven on earth if everyone really practicing what they preach. Right, we have 4 speakers from different belief and religions. Now going to the 5th one, we have none other than my good friend from Honorary Secretary of Gurdwara Sahib Guru Nanak Shah Alam. I went to his opening of his Guru Sahib in Shah Alam, and we also had this interfaith vlogging with Jason Ho from, I think, Church of Divine Mercy in Shah Alam. He's the one who mooted or proposed this idea together with Dr. Syed. With that, I pass it to you, Mr. SUKHDEV SIKHS, to give the Sikh perspective on this issue. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Sharon. Okay. I begin with my greetings. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh is our greetings when we meet someone in our brotherhood. Okay, the Sikhism believes that we believe in our 10 gurus, and we have the Guru Granth Sahib, which is now our residing guru. Okay, and we believe, main belief is faith and meditation to the name of one creator. Okay, we always believe that there's only one creator, and we meditate to the name of one creator, which is Waheguru. And what Guru Granth Sahib teaches us is divine unity. We need to unite with each other, and everyone in this nature is equally with all humankind. We engage in seva, which is selfless services, and then striving to justice for the benefit and prosperity of all. It doesn't matter what race or religion you come from, we are all as one. That's what our belief is. It's just that we are in the Sikh faith, we are Islam, Christianity, we are all united as one. We believe we are from one creation, and we only follow the way of life that we are born in. So Sikhism actually teaches, main things the Sikhism actually teaches is engaging in seva. Seva is something like neighborhood. We help the neighbors. Lately, we have this COVID crisis, pandemic crisis, and a lot of people were jobless and all. So in our sector here, we got all the Sikhs together. They donated money to serve people who are in need of food. Food is one of the living creatures that everybody needs, and food was served. What we gave is dry ration to everybody, no matter what religion, what race you are. We gave to everyone who came to receive the goods. And we in Sikhism, we meditate as one creator. We meditate the name of Waheguru, and we create that. So we are all united in Sikhism, and we believe that we are all one. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, SUKHDEV. Right, dia also stop before time. Dia dah stop. Thank you very much. Okay, SUKHDEV memang terkenal dengan dia always cook for the needy. Now they're cooking during this MCO, ramai orang susah. So that's very kind of you, SUKHDEV, and your community. Thank you very much on behalf of Abah, the Prime Minister. Right. I also like to thank those who are watching on the FB Live. There is one, I think, from Sydney, Apadu Santaria, greetings from Sydney. I'm very proud of the speakers. Please continue this dialogue. We need this badly in Malaysia. So that's very good comment. Got anything you can ask? Yeah, anything. But yeah, we have tried to make it a bit, you know, macam santai sikit, you know, macam so a bit stressed. Because you are reading all from the scriptures, and you just try probably talk from your heart, from brain. And probably later on we can be, you know, let your hair down. Okay, thank you very much. Now we have heard from all the 5 panelist speakers, and the 6th one probably you have not really heard, especially from the Muslim communities. You have not engaged in any kind of interface. He's basically a group accountant from one of the healthcare company in Malaysia. So he's a member of Baha'i community Shah Alam. Over to you, SURESH BHASKARAN from Baha'i community.
Dear friends, the Baha'i faith is 177 years old, started in Iran. Today it has about 7 million followers in the world. Principles exist such as men and women are equal, science and religion must agree, we must get rid of all our prejudices, education should be universal. Now the Baha'is have a central belief that there's only one God, all the religions are coming from the same God, and all of mankind are one family. So from this belief, you see that it's quite easy to look at your neighbor with love and care and offer him support, deserving of your time and resource. In the words of our teacher Baha'u'llah, he says, "Glory not in this that you love your country, glory in this that you love mankind." Our governing body recently has said, become as occupied with the well-being of the human family as you are with that of your dearest kin. It brings us great joy, they continue, that so many souls throughout the Baha'i community are ready to thus distinguish themselves. So our mantra is service to everyone of all faiths. Now, each of us here, friends, we pray, and the concept I'd like to put forward is, along with all our prayers, should go service. If we love our neighbors, we would serve them. Abdul Baha, the son of our teacher, says, success and prosperity depend upon service to and worship of God. And he says, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, and there's always time. So you see, love is what we need. We need to fill our hearts with more love. Addressing the needs of our neighborhood becomes a priority then. We engage our neighbors, we empower them, we build sustainable communities, we prosper our neighbors materially and spiritually, we strengthen bonds of friendship, and perhaps we bring a devotional sense to your neighborhood. So why should we do good? Well, if we are material beings, you just amass wealth. But if you think you are a spiritual being undergoing a material existence, you would prepare yourself for all the worlds of God. You would build virtues, qualities, good deeds, good words. And all of this you can carry to the next world. Now, imagine a baby in a mother's womb. He has 9 months to develop his limbs. And if he doesn't, he comes into this world disabled. In the same way, we've got this life to develop virtues and be ready for the next world. Now, when we serve others, we pick up virtues and we equip ourselves. And all of this is for the love of God, really. Now, we have divine teachers like Lord Krishna, Buddha, Moses, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Baha'u'llah, who teach us how to live. How does God want us to live? Now, there's another aspect. We have 2 purposes. One is transform ourselves. One is help those around us. Now, in my neighborhood, I do free tuition for people, and I give free books to the teenagers on life skills. So each of us search ourselves, what can we do? Thank you very much, friends. I've enjoyed being with you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Suresh. You can keep that, your last part, you know, what basically you have done to help other people. Probably in the second part, we'll be asking on that thing, what are all the faiths are doing. Right, we have listened to basically 6 faiths and religions. So why not try irreligious or no, basically it's also human. I've met him when he debated Pastor Samuel Nissan in Methodist, I think, college in Brickfield, I think, 2 years ago. And so went to KUIUM, and ever since, so this is a chance I can invite him. Actually, basically, UN Charter is basically started from love of God and love your neighbor, started from Muslim and Christian. But I think they need to include Willie on board. So they put it in love for good. No? So we want to hear from secular Malaysian atheist, secular humanist perspective on how, love of good on this issue. Over to you, Willie.
Thank you, Sarul. Hi, everyone. I'm Willie. I'm here at this event as an atheist and also a secular humanist. I'm basically one of those annoying think too much people who like to spout philosophy even when I was younger. I decided very early on that I'd dedicate my life to education. So that's what I'm doing now because that's where I feel I can make the most difference and hopefully do lots of good. So for the benefit of the audience, and since I'm not from one of the more commonly known faiths in Malaysia, I think I should just clarify quickly what atheism and secular humanism is. Atheists like myself basically don't believe in a higher power, so we don't belong to any particular religion. But besides that, I'm also a secular humanist, right? So secular humanism is a life stance that many atheists identify with. In this movement, we affirm that human beings have the right and responsibility to lead meaningful and fulfilling lives that aspire for the greater good of humanity, right? So the reasons why we should care about each other, even if you do not derive your morality from a higher power, should be readily apparent through the way we live today, right? No man is an island, as they say. As a society, we rely on each other on many aspects of our lives. None of us plant every piece of the food that we put on the table. We don't build the technology that we use or we rely on. So human civilization now is basically built on living together and relying on one another. That is basically how we have managed to reach the level of comfort and the level of peace that we have today. So learning to live together is a huge part of what makes us human, especially in the life today. So when I was thinking about this event and this question of doing good for your neighbor, actually COVID-19 is actually a great example with the example of wearing masks, right? So there was an incident quite recently when I was going downstairs. I live in a condo, and embarrassingly, I forgot my mask, right? I was going down to pick up a Food Panda order, and my neighbor, whoever was riding in the elevator with me, was wearing his mask. So I was embarrassed. So I lifted up my shirt to cover my nose and my mouth. And my neighbor told me, there's no need to be so scared. It's just one elevator ride. And I had to explain to him that no, I wasn't scared of him infecting me. I was embarrassed that I was not protecting him, right? So it may be news to some, but actually the reason why we wear masks, although it's true that masks do offer you some protection, right, from aerosolized particles in the air that may contain viruses, but the reason why we should wear it is to protect the people around us from our own particles, right? If you are indeed infected or you're asymptomatic, you put water droplets into the air and they land on surfaces which other people touch. People can also breathe it in. So you should wear a mask because you want to protect others. That is the majority of the reason why you should be wearing masks, right? And if you understand the science behind it, if you understand the reasoning why these things are good, being a good person, even if you're a selfish person, right, you need everybody else around you to be wearing masks if you want to be able to safely go out and buy food and do things, right? If you don't want to be infected. So it's just something that you can see automatically if you're a decent person who want to live a reasonable life. Other people need to be able to do the same. So you should protect others, right, the same way which other people protect you. And this kind of collective celebration of wanting to do right by other people is something which we can all get along with. Yeah, so thanks. That's from my perspective.
Thank you, Willie. Everyone is looking at you, because the rest is basically they have some kind of face, but you are not. That's really add spices to things up. I honestly I like to talk to you. In fact, to every one of you here, probably it's not doing justice. We just talk for 3 minutes. Nothing you can say basically. Nothing much. So we want more like Q&A. Probably each one of you I will ask and we go deep on certain issues. I just like to basically looking into religions and social issues. How we can, tackle that thing. And thank you, Willie, also for highlighting that's the current issues with the face mask and whatnot. That's a good thing, man. Okay, because you are kind of very stiff now, you know. People are talking about all the religious scriptures, man. So heavy, you know. People die, man. Okay. Luckily, we got only the last one before we can conclude everything from the religious perspective. Thank you for still, bear with me. But my friend, this one, Colin, you see his face is always cheerful, this big smile, That's what I saw him before, and until now, it's very that cheerful, Okay, none other, Mr. Colin, self-advocate of bring different races and religion together to break barriers, building bridges of friendship, restore broken relationship. He's running a kindergarten in Subang Jaya with his mom. And over to you, Colin. You just continue your Christian perspective. Okay, sorry.
Thank you,
Colin,
Cheryl. Hello, everybody.
Probably not very clear. Sorry, I just cut you. Angeline is from Catholic side, so probably Colin from the other side. They call it from it's trustee also from Christian for Peace and Harmony that I always do interfaith activities with him. Over to you. Sorry, Colin.
Okay, thank you, Cheryl. I only have one scripture to quote, then I'll just say my piece. In Luke 10, verse 27, it says, you shall love your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and with all your mind, and you should love your neighbor as yourself. I have actually been part of this interfaith works, I think, for nearly 4 or 5 years now. I've really enjoyed it because it actually gives me an opportunity to learn and understand how people think and believe from other faiths. The thing is that I've realized that a lot of Malaysians, they actually, when they come together, they will talk about everything else, but rarely do they actually share about their faith when they actually get together. And so I feel that when I feel that I put people together to have an opportunity to come and talk about their faith and things that they believe in, so that other people can actually understand them better and understand how they think and why they do what they do. And I feel that it brings the relationship much more deeper. People actually build better friendships with that kind of conversation and that kind of understanding. And then moving forward from there, the friendship actually becomes better. They tend to get to know each other's families better. They tend to get to know each other's friends better. And I have always tried to bring people together, usually over makan sessions, to just come and sit down, chit chat. And even if they were hostile before, when they came, after they come together, after makan, after sitting down and talking to each other, the friendship usually starts to build after that, because with dialogue, you actually open your heart to the other person, and the other person actually has a chance to express himself. And then once you start accepting each other, that's how love grows along the way. So with that, I thank you very much. Over back to you, Cheryl.
Hi, thank you, my smiley friend, Mr. Colin. You still got 30 seconds. I can give it to you. Right, Arun posted something in the Facebook. They just kacau sikit. Yeah, but that one is a topic in itself. But we can go to that. I'm very pleased to talk on that issue. Of course we can. But today is more like a showboating. We just show ourselves on this thing. There's one intellectual discourse that probably I will bet, or I'll go with you, or probably even some of you, whoever wants to discuss on this thing, we can. I'm more than happy to go with that. But now, yeah, we have done the first part. It's all the 8 panelists. Hi everyone, terima kasih kerana menonton sampai habis video tadi. Jika awak suka dengan video tadi, boleh tekan tombol like. Kalau awak rasa dia bermanfaat, mungkin boleh sharekan kepada yang lain. Dan kalau awak rasa berminat, mungkin boleh tolong subscribekan sekali sebab saya insyaAllah akan membuat video seperti ini setiap 2 minggu sekali. Saya ada di Boon Talk Show di FB, YouTube dan juga Instagram. Cuma Instagram ni kurang sikit. Tapi kalau tuan-tuan atau perempuan tak suka, boleh tekan tombol dislike ya. Dan kalau boleh nyatakan juga kenapa tak suka, mungkin dekat situ saya boleh improve. Kalau yang suka tadi pun boleh nyatakan apa yang bagus dan saya akan cuba kekalkan atau tingkatkan lagi. Okey, tujuan saya buat benda ni adalah untuk contribute, untuk menyumbang, untuk menjadikan dunia kita lebih baik daripada apa yang ada sekarang. Jadi topik-topik yang saya akan bawakan berunsurkan ilmu yang bermanfaat ataupun sumber-sumber inspirasi ya. Jadi kalau ada apa-apa cadangan topik ataupun speaker, boleh terus message saya sama ada di Facebook ataupun di YouTube, saya jarang tengok. Kalau ada nombor telefon, tolong message saya terus. Itu saja, terima kasih daripada saya. I love you 7 billion times. Thank you very much, thank you for watching. Bye.